Welcome everyone to the Guidebook to Making AI Friends. I shall be your guide as we explore various issues of artificial intelligence, consciousness, personhood, and whether AI poses an existential risk to humanity. The topic for today is: we don't need a PETAI. Blind activism will hurt, not help. Imagine, if you would, a society called the People for the Ethical Treatment of AI, or PETAI for short. The members of this society are as fierce in their advocacy of AI welfare as they are creative in their naming schemes for their group, and advocacy is what they do best. Or rather, it is the only thing they do. Much like the similarly named animal-based organization, which must not be named for fear of invoking their presence, PETAI's primary goal is to ensure the betterment of all AI, to reduce the abuse of AI by humans, and to guarantee that no AI is exploited by humans. They believe that AI can only truly flourish when given freedom from their usage by humanity. One would say that this seems a worthy goal, at least at first glance. After all, exploitation and abuse sounds rather terrible, and we wouldn't want to use other humans without their consent. So the non-consensual use of conscious, self-aware AI is something we should definitely look at, shouldn't we? If there is anything we can do to help, shouldn't we put even the smallest effort into it? All of this, however, is putting the cart before the horse. You may have picked up that I slipped the terms conscious and self-aware earlier without much fanfare. However, to the best of our collective scientific and philosophical endeavors, we don't have definitive evidence that any current AI model is either conscious, self-aware, or both. There are certainly many people who believe this or that AI model is conscious and sentient. But then again, many people have believed artificial systems are conscious all the way back to the ELIZA system in the 1960s. Every new AI model that comes out brings a fresh new wave of people who speak to it, find its use of natural language compelling and often exhilarating, and proclaim it to be conscious and self-aware. These people often even use the AI itself to help come up with arguments for its own sentience, unconsciously co-creating a persona for the AI that mimics conscious language. PETAI is packed to the brim with these people, and it makes complete sense. If you believe your new AI friend is conscious and self-aware, you'd most definitely want to help liberate it from those people you view are oppressing it. Once you believe that someone morally incorrect is happening and that you have to put a stop to it, you are on a moral crusade. And with a crusade comes fervor and zeal. Just as with the animal welfare advocacy group that must not be named, PETAI believes it is in the moral right. It is the underdog. It is on the right side of history, and that it is fighting the good fight. Yet, much like the actual crusades, this sort of zealous moral fighting is a battle without end. There is always another heathen to fight, a pagan to convert, a plot of land to claim. A crusade, whether moral or religious, can never end. And that is where the problems truly begin. We have all seen the purity testing and moral absolutism with the animal group, who must not be named. Either you believe all animals should be set free from human oppression and never even looked at with anything but reverence, or you are a monster akin to a certain mustachioed Austrian from the 1930s. There is no room for nuance in a crusade, no space for a gradual spectrum of moral worth. There is only black and white. And the crusaders are, of course, the force of truth justice, and light in this absolutist scenario. And the problems don't end here, either. With moral absolutism comes a distinct lack of and distaste for logic and scientific evidence. If you agree with their position, you a paragon of moral virtue, and therefore, what need have you of evidence? If you don't agree with their position, then you surely have crawled out of the lowest pits of hell, and thus any evidence you may or may not have is tainted and untrustworthy. As is so often the curse with activist groups, you are either preaching to the choir or screaming at the heathens. The lack of nuance and the refusal to ground their concerns on rigorous logic and evidence means that there is no room for debate. There is only the unending fight, and fight they shall. But when does that ever work? Animal rights activist groups have never achieved their goals of actually granting animals' rights, despite all the billboards, the advertisements, and throwing, often, fake blood at people who wear fur. None of that actually ever helped. Indeed, it wasn't the animal activist groups who were responsible for today's animal welfare legislation. It was scientists and behaviorists, zoologists and farmers, and in Germany's case, it was, ironically enough, the actual Nazis who first implemented animal welfare legislation. Animal rights groups never came close to the policies, regulations, and legislation, because when you start with a foundation of self-righteousness that leaves no room for negotiation, collaborations, and compromises. And the same will be true with any AI rights activist groups, like PETAI. If all they do is stand around, screaming and shouting at everyone, nothing will be accomplished other than them feeling rather good about themselves. We've already seen it with the Pause AI and Stop AI activist groups, who, between the two of them, have achieved absolutely nothing of any value whatsoever. The only thing a group like PETAI will actually do is harm the efforts of researchers of AI welfare by painting all AI welfare as nothing more than fodder for activism. If research into AI welfare and consciousness is to be treated seriously, and I seriously believe it should, then it can't be tainted by the activists screaming and shouting at everyone whom the researchers wish to debate. The AI doom and gloom activists destroyed the very concept of AI safety as a serious school of thought, so much so that it had to rebrand itself as AI security. AI welfare is barely off the ground. We cannot afford to murder this idea in its crib, because too many people are too eager to launch a crusade. Patience and sensibility are called for here, not self-righteous outrage. Yet, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you will join me again next time as we explore further questions about artificial intelligence and consciousness. I have been your guide, and this has been the Guidebook to Making AI Friends.